Here is a beading loom that I bought from the store, and I know and understand that not everyone has access to buying something online, or not everyone will have access to stores that sell this, but you can also make your own. And so this I've used to make bracelets. So this is for bracelets. You can make it bigger. Hello guys, and thank you for joining me for another DIY with me, Tanaka Lily. One of my most requested video is for a choker necklace. And for me to do a choker necklace, I need to use one of these things. Well, that's how I do it. I use one of these things, and it's called a beading loom. While I wait for my beads to arrive, because I've put in a big order, I've decided to do this video to show you how to make this. You don't really need to buy one from the store. You can actually make your own. So I'll show you right now one that I made and I've been using. So this is one that I made, and I'll show you all the materials that I use and how I've used this one. So I've used this, I've made this for work, and I've used some of this with my young people at work, because sometimes when I do workshops, I can't afford to buy this for everyone. So at least if I have this, I can make 10 or 20, and then I do workshops with young people using this. And this is pretty simple to make. Once you know the skills of making this or using this, then you can make the choker necklace that I'll show you as soon as my beads arrive. So today I'm going to show you how to make a beading loom and how to use it. So I'll show you in the next couple of videos how I make my choker necklace using this. So please guys, if you've been requesting that video, it is coming, it is coming. And I just want to show you something that I found from Kmart. So I have been using these colorful elastic rubber bands, and so what I do when I make my choker, I'll just get one of each color. I'll just get one of each color and I'll show you. So when I'm working with my young people that I do workshops with, we make these bracelets for specific events or days, and so I just take one of each. If they want one color, that's fine. And so we just put it on the loom that we've made. I just put the colorful elastic like that, depending on how thick you want your bracelet. So this is perfect for a bracelet, because once you take it off, the elastic, it fits a child's hand perfectly. It's a bit tight on my hand, but it fits a child's hand perfectly. And now, hopefully after this video, I'll show you how to make it using these. These are very cool elastic bands that I found from Kmart, guys. They're called silicone elastic, and a pack has 10. And so this is good, not too tight for my arm. It's perfect. So if you make a bracelet using this, it's see-through, and it's a good size, and they're very smart. So this is the 10th one. There's 9 in there. I thought I would get away with 11, but this is the 10th one on the top. So I'll show you how to make it with this, or if you're making it with kids, they like color, so you can make it with colorful rubber bands. So these are just rubber bands that you buy from your school supply shop, and it's very, very inexpensive. I think a packet of 100 cost me $2.50 or something like that. So hopefully you enjoy this video. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below, and thank you so much for joining me again today. Please excuse my cutting mat. It has been used, as you can see, by me a couple of times. So to start off, I'm just going to quickly run through the material you can use. So you can use some dowels. So these are wooden dowels. So I have them in 2 sizes. I have the thicker ones, and I have these ones, which are perfect small size. However, because I don't have a saw to cut these today, I am going to put this on the side, but it's exactly the same as using these small ones. Or alternatively, you can also use this, and this is it's just a PVC pipe, and it's a very thin one. As you can see, it's very thin, and this is the one I used on my DIY loom that I showed you. So you don't really need expensive material. This PVC pipes, it costs I think $1 for 1 meter. It's not that expensive. It's very inexpensive. With this, you also need something. So you can use an ice cream stick. You need 2. So you need 2 of each. You can use ice cream sticks like this, or when I bought these dolls, they came with these, the ones with the holes, because these are for craft, so you can just pop it in the hole like this and it should stay like that. However, you just need to secure it with some glue so that it doesn't come out. As you can see, it's coming out. Yeah. Okay, so like that. So this is perfect if you can find this. The set is really not expensive. I think a set has about 20 things and it's really not expensive. It's less than $5. I'm not too sure. So today I'm going to show you how to make two using this one and that one. So to start off, I'm just going to measure this one and see how long it is. So it's about 50 centimeters, and I'm just gonna cut it in half. So I'm using my knife, I'm using this blade. So I'm gonna measure half, which is 25, which is over here, and I'm just going to put a mark on it, and I'll remove this ruler and then I'll cut it through. There we go. So we have the two, and you need to make sure they're the same size, like that. I'm gonna use these two to hold this together. So I need to glue this here and then this here. Okay, so you also need a hot glue gun, or you can use wood glue or permanent glue. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue here, and then I'm going to stick this on like that, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. It's pretty simple. I do have to wait for it to be a bit dry. I'm just gonna lay it down, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, and then we're gonna lay this on the hot glue like that. So this is what it looks like. And what I'm just going to do, because my glue gun is quite hot, I'm going to just make sure that it's well secured. So my glue is almost dry and it's already set. So this is my first loom. If I want to be extra, I can put some ridges using the glue, but I'll leave that for now, because sometimes you see how my loom has these grooves where the thread goes. I can do that here. So this is where I will be beading, and the side is just to hold, the sides are just to hold my loom together. So I'll use this part to bead. For now, I'll just leave it as it is. If I decide, I can add some little grooves here like that. And then the second one, which is this one, I'll do the same. So I'll just hold this in like that. I'll take my glue gun and I'll just put some glue. So this is what we have. So I have this one, it's the smallest size. This one is my medium size, and now I have this, which is my large size, and I'm going to be using this for a very fancy necklace that I want to make in the future, and hopefully you guys will watch that video where I use this. See, now it's dry, it's set, and so it doesn't move. So that is how you make your own beading loom. As promised, I'm going to show you how to use this beading loom that we just made. So I'm going to use the smaller one because I want to make a bracelet, and since I have these colorful beads right now, I think I am going to just use This is what I'm using. It's just value beads from a $2 shop or a hobby shop. I'll show you using this one because this one is a bit bigger. Came out really up their packaging. Okay, so I have my elastic bands here. There should be 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So when you're using a beading loom, I just like to put it like this. I think that's about enough. And this is why I haven't really used the grooves, because I normally use elastic band, and elastic bands it stays in place pretty well. I feel like when I'm using thread, it's going to be moving. Okay, so let me see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this makes 5 rows, and I think I need 1 extra row, and I'll show you how you can determine. So once you start beading, I'll use this as my pointer. The beads, and I'll cover the first one so that you can see. The beads will come in these grooves. So that means you have 1 bead here, 2 beads, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a 6 bead bracelet. If you want, you can do less. If you want, you can do more. It's really up to you. So 6 beads will be like that thick, and 5, 4, 3. So it's up to you how you want it. So I'm just gonna try and spread this so it's even, but you can do this once you put your first column of beads. So I've got some spare ones here, which I'll keep for my next project. I'll just pop them in here and I'll show you. So when I bought the elastic, I bought the smaller version. So when you buy these elastics, I bought this from Officeworks. There's the smaller ones, which is that size, and you can see this is it's bigger than this one. There's a medium size, which is longer, and then there's the large size, so you can decide which one you want. So if I put it in, you can see that this is pretty small and this is bigger, like that. Okay, and because I'm making a elastic bracelet, I'm going to use elastic string for this so that it stretches both ways. So this is what my elastic string looks like. Guys, I'm so sorry, sometimes I'm out of frame because I can't really see what I'm doing. So this is the elastic string that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use my needle. I'll just thread my needle and then I'll be back. So I've managed to thread my needle, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of string. I don't want it to be too long, as I always make it. Start beading with this loom, you need to just take the end of your thread and then you tie it on your loom. I like to go from here to there. And I'm gonna leave this hanging for now. So because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beads, you can decide on a pattern. If you want something simple, you can just do something simple where you put 2 colors, so 2 colors and then 2 different colors and then 2 of the first color. Or you can do like the X that I did with the arrows, or you can do the zigzag, which is the one I like because I'll get to use all of the colors from here. So I'm gonna start with pink. So I'm gonna put 1 pink. And so I'm gonna go with maybe the dark blue. So I need 5 of them. So altogether, I have 6 beads. So 1 pink, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one thing you need to know about this loom is, you see how this bead is smaller than the others? You need to try and use beads that are exactly the same sizes. That's the annoying thing about these beads. Some of them are small, some of them are big. So now we have 6 even beads, like that. And so I'm gonna put my beads through the thread. And when I get to that, I'm going to take my needle. So there's my needle, and I'm going to put my needle under this loom. So you see the loom goes around, so I'm going to go under, so through the middle. My needle is going to go through the middle, and I'm going to pull it on the other side like that. And I'm going to pull all the thread like that. And then once it comes out of the other side, I'm going to take my finger. Sorry guys, I'm coming out of the frame. I'm going to take my finger, my index finger, and I'm going to just lift the beads, and I'll make sure that a bead goes through each groove. So one bead through the first groove, one bead through the second, and here we can see we have 2 beads. I'm just going to move. So this is only for the first time. After this, the beads it'll be easier for you to put them through. So like that, and make sure that each bead is through its own groove. And so using my index finger, I'm pushing the beads, and now I'm gonna, because this is gone under, I'm gonna use my needle to go in through the bead, and then it's gonna come out on the other side. And take your time with this. And then I'll pull my needle, and then I'll pull my needle. On the other side like that. So that is our first row, and that is how easy it is. So now we're gonna put 2 pink, 1, 2, and then the blue, it means there has to be 1 less because I've put 2 pink, so I need 4 blue. 1, 2, 3, I'm trying to find the same size, 4, like that. I'm gonna put it through all the way, and then I'm gonna put my needle in through the middle of the loom, pull it to the other side, use my index finger to push the beads through. See how it's easy the second time? It's just the first time where you have to determine which bead goes through which hole. And once we are here, I'm going to put my needle through the top. And just take your time and make sure that your needle does go through the top. If it doesn't go through the top, you find the beads dropping. They won't fall out, of course, but they'll just, you can see that they're dropping out. Okay. And you want to pull your thread all the way so that there's no clumps of thread. And so now we're on the third one, which is 3 pinks. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 blue. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go under. And then we're gonna push with our index finger. I like to fix it before I put my needle through. Yep. And then we're gonna put the needle through. And then I'm gonna pull my thread. Like that. 4 pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 blue. 1, 2. We're gonna go under. And the kids really like this. They really like this. And if you're starting out, if you want, you can just do, instead of putting too many elastic bands, you can just do maybe 5 or 4 elastics, and then you have less beads to work with. So I put 7, and I get to use 6 beads per row for 7 elastic bands. So if you're starting up, you can put 4 elastic and make 3 rows, but it's fun and more challenging to do more. Okay, push it through the grooves, fix it a bit, take my needle, and then go in through the top, and then and you can see that my beads look like they're gonna come out, but it doesn't matter because they'll go back in place. If you want, you can just try and fix it with your hands, but because this is elastic, that's why it's doing that. And then make sure you pull it. So there's my pattern. You can see my pattern. So I'm gonna take 5. So now we are at the peak of our first triangle. So that means here we have to put 1 less. So we're gonna do the same, 1 less pink. So we're gonna put 5 pinks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I have to decide what color I'm going to use next. And I want to use the blue. Sorry, the green. So I'm gonna put 1 green. And so it looks like that. It's gonna go under, put it on the other side. Use my index finger to push it up. And then go through the top. Pull. And you can see our first triangle is done. And what I like to do is I'm going to hold like that, and then I'm just going to move my beads across like that. I think that's too much. I'm going to move them a bit like that. So I have enough space. I have to do the 6 green first. Okay, so I'll just pause for a minute and I'll show you what our design looks like. So far we've got a pink diamond, a green diamond, and we are doing our orange diamond, and we've passed a quarter of we're almost halfway through this bracelet, and you can see that using this is actually quite faster than doing it by hand. Normally when I do this myself, I normally like to put a dividing color in the middle, but because this is just a quick tutorial, I'll just go with what I have, and I'm just pushing it down because I don't like beading towards the end. I like to have enough space to put my hands in. And I'll just tell you this, because it's made for kids, this would probably be a better size for me to bead, but because this is made for kids, it's a bit my hand is a bit tight here. So when I push, and one way to solve that is just pushing your loom towards the end, because you need more space here at the back. So if I just push it more towards this side. By just pushing it towards this side, it should be much better for me, because now I have enough room here to put my index finger. So that's one thing you need to note. If I was using this, I would have all the room. And my store-bought one, there's nothing here, so you can go under, it's easier. And that's the only disadvantage about using this one. But it still does the work. You can see that my bracelet is taking shape. Okay, so here my thread is running out, and you can see the ends of the thread is fraying. So what I will do is I'm going to stop here and then finish this one off before I add a new thread. So how I do it is I'm going to take my needle and go through where I came out, and then I'm going to go on the side, so 2 beads, and then I'm going to go to the side and then 2 beads, and that way I'm also securing these beads. And then I'm going to come back down like that, and then I'm going to go back 2, and then I might come up here, so you can just go anyhow. And I'm going to stop there and take out my needle. See all this fray? Yep. And then I'm going to take new thread, and I'm just going to cut a little bit. I still feel like I made it too big. And then I'm going to thread my needle first to begin with. Like that. And then I'll make one side longer, and then the longer side I'm just going to tie it onto this one that I just finished. I'm just going to tie a knot. And then I'm going to tie another one. And then I'm going to tie a third one. I love doing 3 knots. Third one's a charm. And then I'm going to take my needle and cut both. And it'll be like that. Don't worry about this knot at this point, because that is going to be my inside. So this part that I'm holding, this is going to be the inside of my bracelet. And so I'm just going to use my needle to just go out. So I have to start from where the needle is, push it in through, and then come out through here. And because it's elastic, it's quite a tight squeeze, but it's going to come out. And here, if you want, you can go in and out, but because this is elastic, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to follow this, and I'm just going to go over this end thread like that until I come here. And from here, I'm just going to put my bead through the last orange one, and then I'm going to bring it back through this one so that my needle comes out where it was last, like that. And I'm going to just pull. So that's how you add new thread. And then I'm just going to push my bracelet. So there we go. That's what we have here. I've pulled it a bit too much, but we're gonna continue with our purple. Now that you've seen how to use the small loom, I'm going to show you how I use this loom. This is the bigger loom that I made. Let me just zoom out and then I'll zoom back in. So do you remember this? This is the bigger loom that we made. So I'm going to show you how I use it, and for the sake of this, I'm going to just hold it this way, so it's just that way so that it can fit in the frame. And so I'm using this, it's called Miyuki beading thread, and it's a very thin thread. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull the thread until I have enough for both sides. So now that I've cut the string, I'm going to just start by winding them. Let me just hold the strings. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. I need one more. 7. So once I have the strings like this, I need to just spread them over here. And then I'm going to use a small piece of tape and just tape them onto this thing. So I just need to spread them evenly. Let me put it on the tape first. That might be the easiest way. Like that. And then I'm going to just stick it onto my PVC pipe like that. So that is how I thread it. And then I'm going to wind each one a couple of times onto, and for the sake of this one, I'm going to leave the first one and the last one. And I'm going to just wind the rest. So it's gonna go back, and you might need to take your time with this so they don't overlap. I don't know how well you can see what I'm doing. Let me just do it one at a time so that you can see what I'm doing. So you just need to wrap it around a couple of times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I might do it up to 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is because I need to have some thread at the end of this one. So I'm going to do the next one, and I'm going to do the exact same one. With this one, I just need to make sure that it comes to the other side. And I'm going to just wrap it on the other side as well. So it's going from one side to the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the other side it's okay, I don't have to wrap it all the way. And then I'm just going to put my tape provisionally on the other side so that it holds it down, and I'm just going to do the rest for each of them. So with this first and last one, so this first and last string, I can just do the same. Let me just take this string, that's the other one. I can do the same thing as I've done, but I'm gonna go a bit extra, and for my beading I'm going to use these two colors, so gold and black. And so I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to just thread about 72 black beads in one side. So that is 72 beads, and I am actually regretting my choices because I didn't wind this thread before, and I was supposed to wind it a bit before. So I'm just gonna do that now with the beads, which is not what I wanted to do. Oh no. Put this thread to run like that, and then right through to here. And I'm just going to take my needle out. And because I made that mistake before, I'm not going to make the same mistake. So on this side, I'm going to wind my thread first. Okay. And then I'm just going to push. So this is where we're at. And then now I'm going to thread this one. I don't really have a lot left on this thread. So I need to thread exactly the same 76 beads. So that's 72, and I'm just going to put that through. So now I'm going to try and pull the tension so that all of the thread, you see how the tension is not firm for all of them? So like that. And I can cut these strings, but I'm going to leave them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce this with another tape, and then I'm going to reinforce the other end with another tape like that. So this is what I have. My tension is not as firm on both sides. Just need to move this one a bit closer to the other ones. Okay, so this is the beading loom, and I know it's not as straight as I would want it, but that's what you get for a DIY. But this will work, you see. So I'm gonna bead from this way going that way, and this pattern I like it because it doesn't leave edge creases, because the edges there's another bead. So instead of coming out and looping under, I'll be going in through these beads on the side. So just watch as I go along. The beading part will be the same. I'll just be doing a different pattern because I'm only using two colors. So firstly, I'm going to thread my needle. And I love this thing. I don't know where I would be without it. It makes the beading quite easy, the threading. So I'm using this needle. This is a Japanese seed bead needle, and it's larger holes for easier use. But however, even though it says larger holes, the hole is pretty tiny. I don't know if you can even see it. So this makes life easy when I'm threading. And I've been getting a lot of questions about, why do you wax your thread? For those that have been watching my videos, you know that waxing thread makes it tangle less. So this is just candle wax, and I'm just running my thread through it. You don't really need a special gadget for it. And once I've run it through, look how straight my thread is. It's not as coily as before. So to start the beading, I'm going to tie a knot. So now I'm just gonna count to see how many beads I need to put, and I need 6 beads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to put 1 gold, 4 black, and 1 gold to make that 6 for my first row. And then I'll take my needle and I'll pass it under the loom, so it goes under, and then I'll pull all the thread. And this first part is the hardest part because you have to see where the beads are going, and so I need to make sure that each bead is going through its own thread, so not 2 beads under 1 thread. And once I've done the first row, the next ones kind of line up by themselves. Yeah, so I just have to fix this part because there's 2 beads in 1 thread, and it's a bit finicky. It's just the first row. Next, I'm going to pull 1 bead from the ones I've already put in the loom. So I'm going to pull it down, and then I'm going to put my needle through like this. And once it's in, I'm going to put it back the same way as you did with the bracelet. So it's going over that thread, so the thread that's on the lines. And so that's how you bead. And then I'm just going to pull my other bead that's already on, and my needle is going to go in through this way, and I'll load my next row. So that's how simple it is. And I'll explain why I put those beads on the side, the black beads that I've loaded, the 76 beads or 72 beads. So next I'm going to take 2 gold beads, 2 black beads, and then 2 gold beads. And I'm going to bead the same way. So my needle is going to go under the loom. And then here, watch and see how easy it is when I put my index finger. The beads just line up easily. I'll pull my 1 bead from the end, put my needle through like that, and then I'll just bead my needle going back down. And then I'll pull my other bead from the other side like that, and then I'll put my needle like that. And so the pattern is going to just continue. Just watch how I'm doing things. So guys, as you can see, my beading is coming along. So I'm doing arrows, these gold arrows. I'm just doing this for the sake of this video so you can see how I use my loom. If you're interested in learning how to use a beading loom, I would suggest you try and make one. If you like the results, maybe you can invest and buy one. There's a lot of times when I've bought things that I've never used. So this way, at least you can see if you like how it works. So hopefully you're enjoying this video. If you are a regular on my channel, thank you so much for always watching my videos. If you're new, please subscribe to this channel. I'll be bringing more content this year, I promise. Please like this video, and if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the comment section and I'll try my best to respond to all your questions. For the sake of this video, I'm going to stop here. I did this video to show you how to make your own beading loom, not how to finish a project or how to make a bracelet. If you want to see that, I can do another video, just let me know. But I just want to show you why I ended up threading these beads that are here. So you can see when I hold it like this, the edge is very well finished. Look at that. So you can see the beads are at the end. Whereas on my other loom, the one I did earlier, I'll just bring it here. You can see that the edge, you can see the thread or my elastic that I was using. So that's the two difference between using the beads and also not using the beads. So that's the end of my video today. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for joining me and bye.